session. Yeah. Yeah. So what we are trying to understand is, if you look at a human being, an average human being, his life is filled with some kind of discontentment, suffering, some kind of problem. There is nobody who is without any problem. First and foremost thing we need to understand is 99% of the people have some problem or the other in their life. There is nobody without any problems. So we have taken the reference of Lord Buddha, who, before he became a Buddha, before he got enlightened, he was a born prince. He has got all the luxuries in his life. He was having a kingdom. He was about to become a king. He had got the luxuries of all those ages and times. He was married and he was happily having a son. Despite all these comforts, Lord Buddha was also having some problem in his mind. He was suffering, means when he looked at certain things, like when he looked at the dead person, when he looked at the sick, when he looked at the old people, then he started feeling that there is misery in life. So he wanted to get a solution. He wanted to become happy and joyful throughout his life. He was actually trying to discover how we can be happy and joyful throughout our life. So for that he took a big decision. He left his family, he left his kingdom, he left all the luxuries, and he left even the basic minimum comforts that a human being needs. And he started wandering in the forest in search of peace and happiness. So he wandered, and finally he sat in penance for a long time, for about 40 days or so, without food, anything. And then he was actually trying to discover what gives man happiness, joy, and peace. So after long days of his penance, finally he got enlightened and he understood the truth. So that is what he has got, and he started and went about preaching people, saying that if you want to be happy, there are certain things you need to do. But I'm not going to talk about the philosophy of Lord Buddha. I'm going to talk about something else. But my objective is also similar. Like, I want to discover how to be happy and joyful 24/7, how to become very happy. As a matter of fact, I've been practicing this. I've been trying to understand what really gives us happiness, how we can be happy. So I've traveled a little, I've gained little knowledge, and I'm going to share this knowledge with you during this workshop. So whatever I say, I have experienced it, I have experimented with it, and I have experienced it. And that's how I can talk with little conviction that, okay, this is something which can actually give you happiness. So during the first part of my life, like when I was actually pursuing my own education and career, I was a very ambitious person. I wanted to become something big in life. I thought that by becoming big in life, we can be happy and joyful. So as the days passed, even after becoming big, I was not that happy. Because there is some kind of discontentment here or there, here or there. So there is a kind of discontentment in me also. But I want to get rid of it. I want to actually remain positive. I want to be happy and joyful throughout my life. For the rest of the life, I want to be happy and joyful life. But one thing I realized it. So life is all about minimizing pain and maximizing pleasure. So if you look at every quest that we undertake as human beings, whatever we do, there is a hidden motive wherein we want to minimize pain and maximize pleasure. So whatever you do, you are working, you want to be happy. You are getting married, you want to be happy. You are having a family, children, you want to be happy. You want to start a business, the motive is you want to be happy. By having more money, you want to be happy. So every human endeavor is actually having a motive which is actually about maximizing pleasure and minimizing pain. So every human effort is anchored to this maximization of pleasure and minimization of pain. So in this process, most of us, we are not very successful. Though we want to be, we have an urge to be very happy and joyful, But despite all these things, we are not able to be happy because we don't know how to become happy. So during this workshop, we are going to discover what really gives us happiness. Okay. So let me ask you one question straightforward. So I want every participant here, we have very few people, so we can have an interactive session wherein I can ask a question and you can actually tell a straightforward, candid in the sense, very true statement. So when was the last time you were joyful in your life? When was the last time when you had experienced pure joyfulness in your life? The last time. It could be yesterday, it could be 1 month ago, it could be 1 year ago, whatever it is. Irrespective of timeline, when was the last time you felt so happy, so joyful? When is it? Can anybody answer? Is it an easy question or a difficult question?
I can answer, sir.
Yeah, you can answer, please.
Yeah. Uh, Sir, I was happy and joyful during my um, teenage,
Okay.
when my parents were alive.
Okay.
So that time I was very happy. After that, I don't think that I was too happy from inside,
Mm-hmm.
doing performing all responsibilities,
Okay.
and the, the work and everything. Though I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy my work, that's a different thing. But the real happiness, where you
Okay.
don't have stress, you don't have tension, anything, it's very difficult. I've not
Okay.
experienced
So it
inside.
was mostly during your teenage and your childhood that you are very joyful.
Yeah, yeah, I was very joyful and happy
Yeah.
baby that time.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because there was a safety, security of my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have that kind of responsibility what I have right now,
Okay.
and yes, sir, the life was very comfortable that time.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I had so many people around me that I used to share my things. I used to be with them. We used to enjoy together, celebrate together.
Okay.
And after my parents left and my sister also left,
Okay.
I don't have anybody that whom I can feel my own, because everybody comes with a selfish motive
Okay.
that I've seen in the world.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's very less people who are really good with the good intention.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That is my concern.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that is where I was happy. Yeah.
So lack of true people is giving you the pain.
Lack of true people. Yeah, true people. There are
Yeah.
so many people around me, professionals,
Yeah.
colleagues,
Are
friends,
you healthy
other
or
persons.
are you having any health issue?
I don't have any health issues, sir.
You have any financial issues?
No financial issues.
Okay. So only lack of real love is actually
Yeah,
depriving
a
of
real love in a sense, the selfless love or
right.
true,
That's
you
what.
can say true
Yeah.
friendship.
Mother
It is,
love, father love, that kind of love where they don't expect
yeah,
anything.
little warmth. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can say that
Selfless.
lack of love, lack of true love could be one reason for the deprivation of happiness and joyfulness in life, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
According
sir.
to,
Sir,
yeah.
though there are many people, I can go get married. I can do my own family. Everything is there, sir.
Mhm.
I have many choices. But
Okay.
the thing is that I don't find real person in life which
Okay.
comes without selfish motives.
Okay.
So I have not seen any person who comes without that.
Okay.
Somebody may see my fame in my own field.
Okay.
Somebody may see my money. Somebody may see my family.
Okay.
So there is nobody who see me and come. Okay, I like
Okay.
you, and this is what you are.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Good. Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else, please?
Kaladevi, sir.
Yeah. Kala Deviji. Yeah.
Sir, actually, I had a late issue of baby.
Okay.
So, 21 years back, when I got conceived, I was happy.
Okay.
And when I gave birth to my son, I was very happy, and now
Okay.
totally, I'm not. I'm
Okay.
unhappy.
Yeah. And the same person is giving you stress now.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Anybody else, please?
Yes, sir. Sir, I can divide happiness into for a long time and a short time.
Yeah, right.
Momentary happiness. There
Right.
are in a day. I think there are several things that make me feel happy. Small
Okay.
things when I
Okay.
help people. So
Mhm.
these are things that it's like everyday dosage of happiness.
Okay. Yeah.
But for a long period, that um, Kaladevi ma'am said, like when I got gave birth to my children,
Mhm.
and when I got married, and they were all very beautiful times. Sir, I'm blessed with everything by God's grace.
Okay.
But then somewhere, my heart started after attending all these workshops and all. I
Mhm.
still feel I must see God. I must get connected. Who am I and all that? No,
Okay.
there was a great stress when you did that. Who am I? I was truly interested in understanding because I was interested in knowing. But then there
Mhm.
was so much of stress that I could not sit more than a day. I even wrote
Okay.
some experience to you that, and one of the mantras that you have taught us in Yantra Mantra, that
Mhm.
I got initiated through one of my guru's spirit. I mean, she's a brahmacharini.
Mhm.
I regularly we have satsang with her. She
Mhm.
initiated that,
Okay.
apart from what you taught. So
Okay.
I thought, with conviction, I should do. It gives me so much bliss, sir. I can't express the mantra that you have given. That I
Okay.
took it. I wanted to do it, and it gives lot of happiness. But then
Okay.
I'm not able to continue. I mean, they are all blissful experiences, sir. The mantra that you have taught us.
Thank you.
So
Thank you. Yeah.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So,
Yes,
as
sir.
you have rightly pointed out, see, we can actually segregate happiness, joyfulness, momentary. Means certain moments we're happy. Sometimes we tend to become unhappy. Sometimes, like that,
Can I,
it
sir?
keeps varying. Yeah. Venkatramanji, yeah, please, you can talk. Hello.
So yes, sir. You're audible now.
Yeah, I think Venkatramanji was about to say something, so I stopped for him.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
please.
Actually, I am happy always, but
Yeah.
unhappy when I see people do wrong knowingly and get into trouble.
Okay.
I I get happiness in every activity associated with me.
Okay. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
See, recently, when someone came to me saying that I
Mhm.
am suffering for a long time, unable to get any relief, can you please help me?
Okay.
So by by applying the God-given help to me Reiki for
Mm-hmm.
7 days, he got
Okay.
a great relief and thanked me profusely.
Okay.
I was happy that God used me to give happiness to someone else.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yes. That's
Sir,
good.
once again, sir, if I can
Vidyaji, yeah.
tell.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
please.
was a teacher, sir. So I brought, there were so many children
Mhm.
who got benefited.
Mm.
And when there was a change in their life, it really made me happy, sir. It was
Okay.
instant gratification that when I was a teacher, I was receiving.
Okay.
It's, when we bring about some change in somebody's life and we help, that
Right.
gives a lot of joy and happiness.
Yeah, right. Good. Thank you so much. Yeah, anybody else, please? When was the last time you were so happy and joyful? And for how long it lasted?
Sir, I wanted to add something,
Yeah,
whatever I said. See, sir, everybody has the problems, but they find out their own solutions
right.
for something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that, to cut the loneliness and to do some good karma.
Mm-hmm.
I have my family.
Okay.
So I have my animals, which are family, the birds who are my family, and I be with them for longer time after my office.
Okay.
And so I get that kind of selfless love from them.
Okay.
So I have found the solution.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get happy with when once they are happy.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what it is.
Okay. You see happiness in the happiness of other beings and other creatures and other people, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yes,
So,
sir.
so
Yes,
that is
sir.
your
I'm happy.
this thing. Okay.
I go to some children shelters or maybe some old people's this.
Okay.
So I help them and then I feel happy with
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. That's great. Like anybody else to talk? Anybody wants to express? I've almost everybody answered, I think. Okay. Now we'll start our presentation.
Sir, please mute Palani Kumar, sir.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
disturbing.
I will do that. So can everybody see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Master.
Yes, sir.
So once again, welcome to the workshop, The Art and Science of Joyful Living. So the question that I would like to ask you is, how happy are you in your life? At this point in time, you might be 70-year-old, you might be 50-year-old, you might be 30-year-old, whatever it is. Let me ask you one question. How happy are you in your life? In terms of percentage, like for example, you can say that I'm 50% happy, I'm 100% happy, I'm 30% happy. So we don't have any measure where we can actually take a scale and say, okay, I'm having 20%. It is just a gut feeling like, are you really happy now? What
Yes,
percentage, what is your
happy.
percentage of happiness?
60% master.
60%. Why only 60%? Is that the natural limit or we can actually scale up? Is there any possibility for scaling up?
And now I have some stress master. I know it will be passed away, but I can't pass now, master.
Yes, yes, I understand. Yeah. So life is having its own dose of sadness or events which can actually bring you some kind of unhappiness. So those things are inevitable. Like life is not really a bed of roses. It has got its own thorns. Like certain events in life, they're born to bring us some kind of unhappiness and sadness. It is part of life. So we cannot say that we want to be 100% happy. It is not possible because 100% is not possible. At least 80% is possible. But for people who actually ascend certain levels of mental transformation, for them 100% is also possible. Because those life events which actually bring some kind of pain to normal people will not be able to affect those people who have ascended certain levels of mental evolution. So for ordinary people, we can say that if you can manage to be 75 to 80% happy, that is a big accomplishment. So when you say you're 60% happy, yes, that is a better or rather a good, reasonably good one, because of the life instant of loss of the loved ones. Maybe you might be undergoing some kind of trauma, you might be undergoing some kind of pain. So that's the reason why at this point in time your happiness level is only 60%. But overall, as a life, if you have to see as a life, there are certain things which have failed in your life, your expectations have failed, and because of those failed expectations your life might not be 100% or 80% happy or joyful, right? Yeah. Anybody else, like, how happy are you in your life? Is there anybody who can say that I'm 100% happy? Or is there anyone who can say that less than 50% happy? Anybody who says that my life is not a really happy story, it is less than 50%, it is around 25% happiness. Is there anybody who says that? So as far as I understand, most of the people, most of the ordinary people like us, our degree of happiness can be ranging somewhere between 50 to 60, 70%. Like, yeah, this is the normal range where most of our people, like, we fall into that one. So though we are happy to an extent of 50 to 60%, there is a lot of scope for actually maximizing this contentment level or happiness level or joyful level more than 80%. So it's all about training your mind, acquiring the required knowledge and training your mind. That is what is really required to reach a level of 80% joyfulness. So in day-to-day life, if you train yourself, you can actually be in a state of high alertness, you can be in a state of joyfulness. Though there is nothing extraordinary that is happening, you can convert this normal moment into an extraordinary moment by having a mindfulness. If you have some kind of mindfulness, you can actually enjoy, relish this very moment, which is really under your control. It's all dependent on your own inner self. Nothing outside can really bring you eternal peace, eternal joy, eternal happiness. Everything is inside, inside, inside. So a person who is trying to be joyful from within can never be affected by what is happening in the outer world. Even if some bad thing has happened in the outer world, that will not really impact your joyfulness. So the outer world is not really so powerful as we think that it is powerful. So most of us, if we say that, why are you unhappy? Most of the time, people say that because of the world around. So some people say that there are no people in my life. That is an outer world, that's an outer reality that is having a deep impact on your inner world. So something outside is influencing, impacting, influencing your inner world, right? So the person who learns to be joyful from within becomes immune, unaffected by people outside your mind. Circumstances that are happening outside will not impact you. Situations that arise outside will not impact you. So that is how it is. So during this workshop, what we are actually trying to do, we are not trying to fix anything in the external world. We are not trying to correct the external world because we can't. A person who is not trying to control the external world will only end up in a frustrated mode. You don't know how to control the external world. You don't have power over the external world. You can't control it, but you're attempting to control it, then you're going to get more and more sad because you are powerless against the outer world in one sense. But as a master who teaches the power of manifestation, I really don't say that we have the power to control the outer world, but unless you're trying, unless you gain certain amount of practice in terms of controlling the outer world, your attempts to control the outer world will remain futile. So the point that you need to understand is, you should learn how to be joyful, how to be happy, how to be content, how to be peaceful from within. The moment you learn the art and science of actually controlling your own self, your own inner world, you'll become the master of joyfulness. Most of the time, you tend to become joyful and happy. Best examples, If you look at people who have given up their life quest, people who have actually renounced, people who have become monks, they are eternally happy. They don't have anything. They don't have assured food supply. They don't have clothes. They depend on minimal things. They don't have gold. They don't have diamond. They don't have job. They don't have anything at all except their bowl, begging bowl, a simple robe. And they don't even have long hairs, beautiful hairs. They live a simple life. But if you touch them, you can feel the ripples of happiness and joyfulness from them. Just touch them, you see how joyful they are, even without a single materialistic thing. So what I mean to say is, they have learned and mastered the art of being happy and joyful from within, without having any dependency on the external world. But remember, I'm not asking you to become monks. I'm not asking you to become nuns. I'm not asking you to give up your material quest. What I'm trying to say is, pursue your materialistic goal, live in this materialistic world. Don't renounce from this materialistic world. Live in this material world, but learn, practice, and master the art of inner joy and happiness without compromising anything on your life. So this is what we are actually trying to say. So the path to joyfulness and happiness is a pretty straightforward thing, wherein you give up all the materialistic first, move away from the materialistic world, take the path of renunciation, and then learn certain techniques where you can be happy and joyful. This is a pretty straightforward path which was given by monks, our saints, sages. But another path is a path where you are living, experiencing a day-to-day life in the materialistic world. Even then, you're actually trying to maximize your happiness, minimize your pain by using certain mind techniques or principles that we are going to discuss on this, So the entire purpose of this workshop is to make you learn, make you realize how to be happy and joyful to the possible extent without getting affected by the problems in day-to-day life. The problems could be in the form of an abusive husband or children or bosses or siblings or relatives, or it could be even your own health. You might be having bad health. That is also a big stress factor. You could be having financial problem. That itself is a big problem. So even though you're having all these problems, we are going to actually learn, or rather realize, how we can be happy even in the faces of all these problems. By looking at the problems, it could be personal problems, health problems, financial problems, relationship problems. If you're actually feeling bad, you're not going to change the situation, because by focusing on sadness, you will only generate sadness. By only shifting your focus from sadness to joyfulness, you will be able to witness the changes in the external world. Because if you have attended my previous sessions, you will understand that your outer reality is nothing but the outcome of your inner reality. Your mind is like a projector. Whatever you are having inside, it is getting projected onto the screen of the outer world. Outer world is not coming into existence independently. It is not the influence of other people. It is the projection of your own inner self. So if you want to be really happy and joyful in life, what you need to do is change your inner reality. The way you feel, the way you think, the way you behave inside, that should be corrected first, if at all you want to see changes in the external world. The moment you start feeling very happy and joyful from within, what you're going to radiate, project into the outer world, you are going to project only happy things, happy people. So this is the secret that you need to understand. Most of us, we are focused on the reality of the outer world. We think that, oh God, the world is so painful. There is no money, there is no health, there is no love. Because who created that reality? your inner reality is getting projected. So first and foremost thing is that learn how to be happy and joyful within without having any concern about the external world. External world is a phantom. It doesn't have real existence. The reality exists in your own inner world, not in the outer world. So to fix up something in the outer world, you need to fix up certain things in the inner world. So inner world, what? How to fix up? You should change the way you're thinking. You should change the way you're feeling. Thoughts and feelings make up our reality. Thoughts, things, they bring in our reality. The law of attraction is based on the same principle. So now let us see how we can actually change our own inner thoughts, inner beliefs, inner feelings in order to create a better world for ourselves. There is nobody out there who is sitting and trying to control your world, outer world. Most of the people, we have so much of faith in God. We pray to God, God, please change. God is ready to change things, provided you change your own inner world. You don't change inward and you expect God to change, means God to remains powerless, because God has created you with a free will. What did I say? I said God created us with a free will. He has given us mind. He has given us the power of discretion, the power of discrimination. He has given us the power. We are not using this power. We are asking somebody else to operate your life for you, because you might not be aware that you have power, or you might be too lazy to use your own inner power. If you learn how to use your inner power, you can create joyfulness. Your inner world is the manufacturing unit of your joyfulness, your happiness, your peace, your contentment, and everything. No force is actually really creating a panic in your life. It is you, it is you, it is you. So first point you need to understand is, if you're not happy, if you're not joyful today, if you're not content with your life, if peace is not there in your life, who is responsible? First and foremost thing, be responsible. You have to take your own responsibility. You have to take your responsibility, saying that this is my life. I'm responsible for everything. For good, I'm responsible. For bad, I'm responsible. So you have the responsibility. So you have the power to change it, and it is your life. It is nobody's life. You're not living life for other people. You're not living life for your father. You're not living life for your son. You're not living your life for your spouse. Even if they die, you'll weep for some time, but you'll live your life for the rest of your life. So you have to take the responsibility. Nobody is actually dictating things. You might say, no, I have been so nice to people. I have been so good to the world, but life is not fair to me. You might say that, but again, the responsibility is with you, because it is not your current thoughts and feelings that are creating the external reality, but your own deeds. But your own deeds that you have done in your previous incarnations that have created the karmic pattern, which is actually imposed on you now. If your life is not so beautiful today, it is not that your thoughts, expressions, your feelings in the current incarnation are bad. You might be doing the best of the things, but again, there is a suffering. There is something which is imposed onto you. Again, this is not the work of an external agent like God or supernatural forces or angels, devils. No. Again, that is what you have done in your previous incarnations, the aspirations you had, the things that you had, all those things are following you without any blockage. So whatever you have today is either because of your own thoughts and feelings, or because of your karmic impressions or the karmic web that you have inherited into this world. So don't feel a little disappointed saying that, okay, this is karma, so we are helpless. No. Again, as human beings, we are born with free will. We have the power to change not only the current reality, but also we have the power to neutralize our karmic deeds and change or improve our life situation in order to feel the joyfulness of it. So you might be asking, how will I understand the karmic causes that are affecting me? Yes, there are certain ways you can actually understand that what you have now is a deed of karma. You can actually undergo past life regression, wherein this is a very scientific process or a procedure wherein you can actually go into your past life incarnations to understand the karmic patterns in order to find solutions for those problems for which you don't have answer. You can go back into your previous incarnations and then you can try to understand why your situation is like this and what best you can do to neutralize this situation. So that way, you can improve your own living conditions or life conditions, and you can optimize your happiness or joyfulness. So during this workshop, I will definitely take you to your previous incarnations. So maybe on the last day of the workshop, I will conduct a session wherein you can go into your past lives and then see your own self. The moment you go into your past life incarnations, you lose so many fears that you are undergoing now. You have so many fears. So those kind of fears will automatically vanish the moment you have past life regression session. So for this past life regression, I'm not going to charge anything, though I charge for past life as a separate thing. But in this session, in this workshop, I'm going to take you to past life regressions because I want to show you how the knowledge about your previous incarnations can actually make you more joyful rather than sad. Okay, so this is about it. So what did we talk about? So the first slide, in the first slide, what we talked is, first and foremost thing is, you need to take the responsibility for everything that you have in your life. Don't blame people, don't blame God, don't blame supernatural forces, don't blame people in your life, don't blame circumstances in your life. You're not here to correct this world, you're only here to correct this world. You have the personal responsibility. Why I said take personal responsibility? Personal responsibility because your life circumstances are only the result of your own thoughts and feelings. So today is the product of yesterday. What I mean to say is the present is nothing but the product of the past. So what you have thought, what you have felt in the past is viewing the current reality. We are actually witnessing what we have created in our past. What we have created means what thoughts we have generated, what feelings we have generated has actually created a current reality. If your thoughts were good, if your feelings were good, your reality, current reality will be good. But if your thoughts were distorted, if your feelings were distorted, the current moment would not be a pleasant moment. Just hold on for a while. Kittu, ఊరికే జస్ట్ అలా కనిపించినట్టు వాడిని ఒకసారి కిందకి రామను. నువ్వు వెళ్ళావు పైకి, వాడికి కాల్ చేయ ఒకసారి. కాల్ చేస్తే కార్ కిందే ఉంటుంది, బట్ ఉందని అనుకుంటాను లేదు. జస్ట్ నువ్వు ఒకసారి మాట్లాడు, అంటే కోవితో మాట్లాడు. ఓకే. సో if our reality today is not good, not up to our expectations, not up to our standards, it is only because you as a person has not created the right kind of thought or right kind of feelings that has resulted in this moment. If today you're happy with your love life, if you're happy with your job, if you're happy with your finances, if you're happy with your spouse, if you're happy with your assets, if you're happy with business, it's only because You have had a past where you have created all these things in the right moment. So for that reason, I'm telling you, take the responsibility. Look at your current moment. Look at the pain points that you're having. Those things might have come from your own self, from yourself. Or if you have not created any mistakes in the past, it could be the karmic imprints. So either try to correct the karmic imprints or try to correct these things. Just the way our past has created our present moment is going to create our future. The past, the present, and future are interconnected. They're not watertight compartment. The past is affecting your future. The past is affecting your present moment. Your present moment is creating your future. Okay, this moment you might not be happy, but there are 101 chances that your future moment is going to be absolutely great. You can create beautiful world, beautiful future for the rest of the life. You can be very happy and joyful, provided you take the responsibility and start creating right kind of thoughts and right kind of feelings and take corrective action for correcting your negative karmic impact. Agreed? So with this, we are going to explore more how we can actually improve ourselves, how we can actually amplify our joyfulness. Okay, this is the first summary that we need to look into. So before starting this session itself, I've asked you a question like, when was the last time you were really happy and joyful? And what gave you that happiness or contentment or joyfulness? This is a very serious question. When did we have that kind of happiness? As Sri Vidyaji has told us, momentary happiness, short-term happiness, long-term happiness, yes, they really matter. So momentary happiness, yes, when we meet something nice, we become happy, but after that it vanishes. And if you are in a very secure place, where if you are actually having a good life, yes, in the midterm or in the long term, your life, you can say that it's a happy life. But when we asked, how happy are you in your life? You said 60%, 50%. So that means that it was not a very phenomenal experience. We need to have a sustained moments of joyfulness and happiness. So that is when we can say that the game of life is successful. See, in life, everything is an experience. Everything, look at anything. In a life, everything is an experience. You sleep, that is an experience. In sleep, you get a beautiful dream. It's an experience where you felt happy. In sleep, you had a nightmare. That is a bad experience. Everything is just an experience. You got married. It's an experience. It could be a beautiful experience for some people. It could be a bad experience for some people. You had a child. It could be a beautiful experience or a bad experience. You have a car. It's an experience. You wear a beautiful dress. It's an experience. When you wear a good dress, you feel happy. Why? What is that you're getting out of it? Most of us, it's a common experience. Like when we wear some nice dress, which we like, you feel happy. When somebody comes and says, oh, you're looking good in this dress, you feel happy. You feel joyful. Your whole mood changes. So those are all momentary happinesses. They last only for a while, but they vanishes after some time. But what we are actually looking at is, we are looking at a sustainable moments of happiness and joyfulness extended over a life period, except for certain natural life inevitable things. Things should be joyful in life. So it is because it is our birthright. God did not create us to struggle and suffer. God has created us to enjoy the beauty of life, to nourish, to cherish each and every moment of our life. He wanted us to enjoy, but unfortunately, we are not able to enjoy. It's like this when we go for a picnic for a day or two. Every moment we want to enjoy, we want to play, we want to forget all the problems that we have in life. We want to laugh, we want to jump, we want to do all beautiful things that gives us joyfulness and happiness, playfulness. We want to be playful. So when we are sitting in house, when we are actually interacting with other people in day-to-day life, we don't play. We are very serious. We are serious about our life. We only quarrel, we only argue, we only debate, but we don't play. But as kids, whenever we got a chance, we used to run away from the house and start dancing, playing. What kind of games, what kind of plays we used to have as we were kids? Remember those days? How happy life was when we are only doing nothing but playing some silly games. We took life as a playful event. But as we started growing, we started taking life as a serious business. Oh God, it's a very big business. Though you don't do anything, you take it as a big business. So you lost the joyfulness. Playfulness is joyfulness. So we stopped doing it. That is how, when most of the people they'll start say, when were you happy the last time? Like Leena ji told, it was only during my childhood and my teenage. But now, why? Why did you stop being playful? Who stopped you? It's only you. Because you got a wrong assumption saying that, okay, you have to be serious in your life. So playfulness, you need to be in a mood to enjoy your life. So your biggest priority in life should be what? The biggest priority in life. What should be your biggest priority in your life?
Happiness,
Yes,
peace.
being joyful and happy should be your highest priority in your life. Is that your highest priority? Yes, for most of us, it is the highest priority, but we really don't realize it. It's a hidden motive, but you need to openly acknowledge that, yes, you want to be happy. What gives you happiness? Talking to friends gives you happiness. Go talk to friends. Playing with other people gives you happiness. Do it. Eating good food gives you happiness. Do it. Drinking alcohol gives you happiness. Do it. Flirting with people gives you happiness. Do it. Earning money gives you happiness. Do it. So whatever your heart craves, go do it. That gives you joy and happiness. So, but most of the time, we don't do what we want to do. We only do what other people expect us to do in the name of social norms. That is where we fail to experience life as a joyful ride. What did I say? I said, we don't do what really our heart wants us to do. We don't expand, we don't move in the way where our heart is actually taking us. We say, no, I'm not, because my husband will not accept, my father will not accept, my boss will not accept, my son will not accept. So that is how you're actually putting iron curtains around you. And obviously, you are losing your joyfulness. Means you're not having the freedom to do what you want to do. That is the biggest curse in our life. We are not doing what we want to do. We are not doing what our heart wants us to do. Because we are in a cage, a social prison. We are not allowed to do what we are expected to do because the society will say, no, don't do it. In the form of religion, in the form of society, in the form of these things. But mind you, though joyfulness should be your highest priority in your life, joy, happiness derived from the pain of other people is the biggest crime that you can commit in your life. If you're actually trying to be joyful with the sadistic pleasures, then you cannot justify it. Joyfulness that comes from the suffering and pain of other people is not at all joyfulness. You have to enjoy your life with full-fledged momentum but not at the cost of somebody's pain or suffering. I'm not talking about the expectation. So, for example, my father wants me to be a doctor, but my heart says that I should be an engineer because my inbuilt tendency is towards engineering. So my father says, no, you do medicine because I dreamt of becoming a doctor. Those days I could not become doctor. At least you become. He says that. So, but your heart says, no, 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 I can't be a doctor. I can't bear the smell of those things. I can't touch people. You say, no, I'm not fit to be a doctor. And you want to be an engineer, you want to do something extraordinary, you want to come up with a great solution for the biggest problem that you have, and you are craving to become an engineer. So if you become an engineer, your happiness, your joy will amplify. But if on the other hand, if you are trying to please your dad because he wanted you to become a doctor, if you are trying to fit into his expectations, you're not living your life, you're living the life of your dad. So though you become a doctor, you're only trying to meet the expectations of your father, but you're compromising your own joyfulness and happiness. So that doesn't really give you any kind of happiness in your life. That is a big nightmare throughout your life. You might have taken an intelligent decision, but it is not good for you. So there, what is missing? So here, instead of becoming a doctor, though your father was haunting you, though your father was saying, become a doctor, you took a decision saying that, no, I'll become an engineer. Your father will be unhappy, but it doesn't mean your joyfulness, your happiness is derived from the pain of your dad. Not at the cost of your dad's happiness. That is a temporary thing, but if you become an engineer and if you do great accomplishments, your dad will obviously be joyful. But if on the other hand, if you're actually taking your joyfulness from the pain and suffering of other people, then that is a human crime, a sin, biggest crime. Don't try to derive joy and happiness from somebody's suffering. For example, you have a neighbor, he was going and then he met with an accident, he broke his leg, and you're feeling happy, oh God, good thing has happened, that fellow is suffering. Now, we'll see. He has been behaving very smart with me. Every time he's coming and quarreling with me, every time he's giving me a lot of pressure. Now, he broke his leg and is out. You're feeling happy, you're feeling joy. That is the worst kind of crime that you can ever commit. Never derive joy and happiness from other people's suffering or pain. That is not the right kind of joy that we are looking for. We want a joy which can actually make even other people happy. A joy that can be spread like a good fragrance, a joy that can be beneficial to people around you. That is what is known as real joy. A joy that comes to me will not get confined to me, but instead it will actually spread like a great fragrance that makes other people experience a beautiful thing like. So that is the kind of joy that we need to actually create for ourselves. So that is the responsibility we have to take. So I want you to understand the fact that we have the power to expand our joyfulness beyond the levels that we imagine. There is really no constraint because we have the power. We have the power to create happiness. We have the power to alter our reality because we have the power to create. That is the power we have. But unfortunately, we are not using this power because we are in an iron cage. We are surrounded by the iron curtains. There are curtains, iron curtains, which are not allowing us to experience it. One second. హలో ఇంకో 1 అవర్ పడుతుంది. ఇప్పుడే అక్కడ పద్మారావు నగర్ వెళ్ళాడు. మీ బ్యాంకే వస్తుంది. సరే సరే. So we are not using our power. The biggest problem in our life is, what is the biggest problem in our life? We are not using the power that we are born with. We are not using the power, though we have a lot of power within us. We are not using, we are making very, very little use of that power, that too unconsciously. And then we are crying, saying that why life is so unfair to me. Most of the people, they keep crying, saying that life is never fair to me. God is not in favor of me. God, though I go to God, pray in his temple, make so many offerings, he doesn't respond to me. This is what you say. To what extent it is right? God is such a big, 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 big phenomena that he's not bothered about your day-to-day affairs. He's not your personal secretary, personal attendant. We treat him like a personal attendant. Okay, you come and do this for me, I'll make an offering. There is so much of this kind of thing in our system. So we always try, okay, I'll come to your temple. If you give me this, I'll come to your temple. Who cares whether you go to temple or not? You think God is waiting for you to come to his temple, break a coconut, put a garland on his feet, or lit a diya and do this? What does he get by doing that? And why do you make a condition saying that, okay, if I get this, if you do this for me, I'll do that. And some people say, okay, if you do this, I'll give you this donation. What does God do with your money? God doesn't have any dependency on your money. So this mindset of actually trying to make God work for you is the biggest stupidity of human mind. You don't have to offer anything to God. God is not bothered about your diya. God is not bothered about your incense fragrances. He's not bothered about the coins that you put. It is not the he's not bothered about the cash deposits or the gold what you give. It is not. It doesn't matter to him. If today some kid comes and gives me a small toy, you think I'll be so happy saying that, okay, I've given me a toy? I'll only, as a kid, I'll just laugh at him and say, okay, good, good. For God, the money, the coconuts, the diya are all like stupid things, silly, playful things. So do not try to manage God, manage yourself. How to manage yourself? You are given a lot of power. Use that power. Use the power. You're not using the power. So first point is take the responsibility, personal responsibility for each and everything in your life. And the second thing is use the power that you have been gifted by Mother Nature. If you look at people who have made great accomplishments, they're not people who have actually descended from the skies. They're ordinary people who have risen from earth. They have used their inner power to accomplish their dreams and desires. They have used their inner power to create an outer reality around them rather than simply asking God for doing this thing, that thing. If that is the case, many people would have been something extraordinary because they only pray God, worship God. I'm not saying worshiping God, praying God is wrong. I'm not saying that asking God to give something is nothing wrong. But what I mean to say is dependency only on this without using your inner power is nothing but the height of your stupidity. So for that, what you need to do? Use the power that you have. So far, you might not have realized that you have an inner power because nobody has taught us that there is an inner power which can be used to our advantage. Of course, no education system has actually so far preached us this kind of thing. But now we know we have inner power. We have the power to create our own reality with our thoughts and feelings. So start fabricating your own reality. Have patience. See, as a kid, to stand up erect and to walk properly, you have taken so much of time. You have fallen so many times, but you have never given, but you kept practicing, and today you are able to master the art and science of walking. You can walk, you can run, you can dance, you can do anything because You have understood how to balance your body. You have learned a technique. So for learning the technique, for acquiring that skill, you have invested some time. It's not that first time you stood, you started walking. There is some time, there is some effort, there is some patience which is involved in this. Only then you have acquired and mastered that skill. Similarly, the power, the inner power, that which I'm talking about, can be used by you only when you learn it, you understand it, you practice it with patience and perseverance. Then you will be able to start using your inner power to create your own reality. So that power can be mastered only with consistent efforts. Just because you have wishful thinking, saying that yes, I'll do this, it's not going to happen. We are not living in a fairy world. We have to make things happen with our own inner power. So that is about second point. What is it? Using your own power. So when you take the responsibility of your own life situation, then you will understand that your present moment is created only with the thoughts and feelings that you had yesterday, day before yesterday, or in the past, or in this. If that is not the case, if your thoughts, feelings were good in the past, today there is a problem, means it could be traced back to your previous incarnations, multiple incarnations. Try to correct those things and use the power that you are born with, and then make the changes that you need to make in order to correct the situations in your life. Then life will become a beautiful game, a beautiful play. Be playful. Enjoy your life. For that, the topmost priority in your life should be joyfulness and happiness, that too not at the cost of other persons' happiness or joyfulness. So you need to imbibe this point in your mind at any cost. The highest priority, the topmost priority in your life should be happy and joyfulness. There are some people who, because of their own life circumstances, they actually get addicted to some kind of sadness, some kind of self-pity. They're not healthy people, though they look very healthy, strong, biologically, physiologically, health-wise, they might look very strong, but inwardly, they are addicted to sadness. Their thoughts are filled with sad thoughts. Even if the outer world is trying to cheer up them, they will not accept it. They will say, my life is like this. Nobody will understand me. I have my own problems. I have my own history. They're caught up in the trap of sadness. So the moment you get into this zone of sadness, it is like a quicksand. You start getting into it, it will pull you down, down, down. You have to be very careful. You should never get into the situation of self-pity. Self-pity is the worst kind of thing. Many people, they indulge in self-pity and they feel sorry for themselves, and they create a web of sadness in their life, and they indulge in sadness and say, okay, you people are lucky, but my life is like this, man, this thing. And they not only feel sorry for themselves, they also make other people, they also want other people to feel sorry for them. So what is this? They are only focusing on sadness, the bad part of life. And as long as you're actually focusing on sadness, the law of attraction is only going to amplify sadness in your life, right? So you people, most of you have attended my session on law of attraction. I told how we create our world. When you're feeling sad, you're actually radiating sadness into the environment. And by virtue of law of attraction, you're stimulating the frequencies of sadness in the world. And like an echo, they're coming back into your life and they're amplifying it. So the more you feel sad, the worse this life situation is going to be. So the law of attraction says, always focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. So you don't want sadness, you don't want any bad things. Stop focusing on those things. Say, cut, cancel, cancel, cancel. I know, I don't want to look at it. Shift your focus. Shift your focus and start focusing on your happiness, joyfulness. The moment you shift your focus, happiness will start flowing. Life is so simple. Life is not a complicated issue at all. If you understand these principles, life is not a complicated situation. The moment you understand the realities, the secrets of universe, all that we need to do is shift your focus from what you don't want to what you want. That is the secret. And God has given us a superb faculty to human being. What is that? He has given the power of imagination. He has given us the power of visualization. Though the situation is very bad, you can detach from it, disengage from it, and then in your mind, you can actually start imagining things that you want. In reality, you're having a financial problem. In reality, you are having a problem with your spouse. In reality, you are having a problem with your children. In reality, you have a problem with your business. But you can disengage with this reality and go into a different kind of reality. That is what is your virtual reality. Then you can actually, with the help of your God-gifted imaginative power, start imagining exactly opposite to what is there in the outer world. There is financial problem here, but turn back, turn away from the financial problem. Look at your own inner mind and say, wow, I have financial abundance. Focus on, imagine, create images, feelings of you having all the abundance that you are really craving for. Which is real? This is also real, that is also real. But where are you focusing? You're focusing on your inner imagination. The moment you start focusing on your inner imagination, your rate of vibration is going to make a phenomenal shift. When you're experiencing this physical financial problem, your rate of vibration, your inner vibrations will be at certain pace. You're feeling sad, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling frustrated. All these feelings are there. As long as you are grounded to these kind of feelings, you will only attract only those circumstances. But the moment you make a shift, turn your face and say, hey, this all bagwas, I don't care for it, leave it. And then sit and start imagining you having excess bank balance, you having all money coming from different sources unexpectedly, and you enjoying this money, you doing all these things. The moment you start indulging in this, your vibration is also changing. You become optimistic, you become happy, you become joyful. You're creating a different kind of reality, and your vibration changes. The moment your vibration is changing, what is happening? You're radiating a different kind of prosperity vibrations into the environment, and you're actually moving with a frequency, a prosperity frequency, which is actually stimulating other such frequencies, similar frequencies in your external world. And it is like an echo coming back many folds, many times. It is getting amplified and it is coming back in the form of experience in your life, in the form of experiences in the life. You start attracting people who are ready to collaborate with you. You're going to attract people who are going to invest money on your things. You're going to create that kind of thing. So in order to change your reality, change your frequency to change your outer reality. That is about how to create happiness in your own life. So as a matter of fact, if you look at our life themes, what are the things that are most important to us? So on the face, we can say that money, if you have money, you can get most of the things that you want. Most of the things we want to live in a very comfortable house. Most of us have a strong desire of having our own house, that to the way we expect it to be. You can get with money. You want to have a good vehicle, you can get with money. You want to wear good clothes, you can get money. You want to have a particular lifestyle, you can get it money. So the moment you have all the money that you want, you can create happiness because you can get most of the things done. Most of the desires that gives you happiness can be fulfilled with money. But if you're not having enough money with you, then the problem starts. Most of the people in this world today, they don't have joyful living because they don't have enough money that they need for their life. That is one problem. So it is not only the money that is depriving us of the happiness and joyfulness, but also our own health. We might be having we might be having money, but if we don't have health to enjoy the money that we have, again, life is going to be a matter of struggle and suffering. So you need health. So if health is not present in the adequate proportion that we need, then again, we have the problem with life. Then you have money, you have health, but unfortunately, you don't have anybody to share your happiness in your life. There is nobody who is concerned about you. You have nobody to share your happiness. You don't have anybody to share your thoughts and feelings. Then life becomes shallow, very painful, right? So there is no joy in life. You're living a life like a tasteless life, which you don't really enjoy. So you need to have love in adequate proportion. So we need people. Without people, life is so bad. You cannot enjoy. So we need love also in equal proportion. And along with these things, we have systems, different systems in our life. So there are certain systems like political system. It can give us some kind of horror. It can give us some kind of pain. If you look at Taliban's, if you look at Afghanistan, there might be people who are having money, who might be having health, who might be having love, but they're living in a system where there is a lot of pain, so they won't be able to enjoy their life. That is again a painful thing. So we are part of multiple systems. It could be economic system, it could be political system, it could be social system, it could be socio-cultural systems. Like that, we have multiple systems. We are living in different systems as a human system. So even those systems, they can actually deprive us of our rightful share of joyfulness and happiness in our life. Similarly, everything might be good with money, everything might be good with health, everything might be good with love, everything could be good with your systems, but our own belief systems can actually deprive us of our rightful dose or share of joyfulness and happiness in our life, isn't it? So belief, it plays a predominant role in our life. So our belief about our own life, about our death, about our afterlife can have so much of impact on our current happy and joyfulness. So if our belief system is not positive, then we cannot be happy and joyful. I'll give an example. Death is a very common phenomena. A reality, a biggest reality in our life is death. So many people, they can't accept death. Why? Because they believe their belief system could be having some kind of negative elements in it. For example, if somebody dies, what will happen after a person dies? If you have a belief system saying that, okay, you will go to Narklok, where because of your sinful life, you're going to be tortured, you're going to undergo so much of pain, you'll be put into fire, you'll be put into boiling oil, you'll be sliced, all these kind of things, like how we believe in Hinduism. If you have got that kind of belief, and if somebody very close to you dies, okay, you will die, you will grieve because he's no longer going to be physically associated with you. But this thought that, okay, he might have gone to Paplok or Narklok, where he is going to undergo so much of torture, you can't be joyful. You feel, oh God, he is suffering, she is suffering. Because she's closely associated with you, you feel you cannot You cannot take it. You feel the pain of it. So that is depriving you of your happiness, at least for some part of your life. So your belief system is actually having an impact on your happiness and joyfulness. So we need to ensure that the belief system is also good, conductive, or positive for us to experience the beauty of life. It is our duty to enjoy the beauty of life. God has created us to enjoy every moment of our life. He didn't want us to actually suffer or struggle. God is not here to make a judgment and say, you suffer. God is not going to do it. God will never do it. God wants you to enjoy, just the way we want our children to enjoy their life, to benefit in their life, they prosper in their life. Even God being our Father, like He wants us to be happy and joyful. He doesn't want us to struggle and suffer. Only thing is that we have a distorted belief about God, and we think that God wants us to suffer. That is the wrong belief. So these are the things that are having deep impact on our state of joyfulness and happiness. Anything which is falling below these kind of things, they are going to end up in so much of struggle and suffering. So you should understand that as human beings, we have certain inner cravings. What are those inner cravings? The soul cravings or the ego cravings. Physically, we have certain things. Physical body has certain things. Physical body has got certain cravings. What are those cravings? Physical body has craving for food. It needs food, good food. Physical body has got craving for good sleep. Physical body is having craving for what? A comfortable life, comfortable vehicles. Physical body is having certain things. Just the way we have a physical body, we have an inner being. And that inner being is nothing but our own ego. I would say that our ego and the soul are one and the same thing, but they are the two ends of the spectrum. Our soul, the inner being, that is the inner dweller, is having another dimension, and that another dimension is nothing but the ego. The ego is something which is closely associated with the physical body. Ego is like a thin layer of cream that gets formed on hot milk. What is milk? Milk is a liquid, but the cream layer that gets formed when the hot milk cools down is a thin layer which actually separates milk, the liquid milk, and the outer world. Even if there is some insect which falls, that doesn't go into the milk. It only stays afloat on that cream layer. Means that is something which is getting formed. So by association with our body, our soul will also develop a thin layer, and that thin layer is what is known as ego, with which we identify ourselves. The entire inner essence is represented by that ego. But understand, that is part and parcel of the main body of milk. It is only that it actually surfaced. So similarly, we are the inner beings. We have a small representation, and that representation is nothing but the ego. So that is how I said ego and the soul are one and the same thing. So the ego, it is closely associated with human body. Human body is a temporary vehicle that we use. It is not a permanent thing. It gets destroyed, it gets created, and it gets destroyed. So when the body is destroyed, even the ego is destroyed, but the main inner being still remains. So this ego, because it always identifies itself with the physical body, it takes the tendencies of human body. And these are the cravings that the ego or the soul, we can actually say, is having. What are these cravings? So beyond food, beyond sleep, beyond sex, beyond good comfort life, human body is also having certain cravings, and those cravings are what we call as inner cravings. So these are the cravings which are actually responsible for our state of emotion or state of existence. కోవి నేను ఇక్కడ క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాను, ఆన్లైన్ క్లాస్ కాల్ చేస్తాను. So what are those cravings? These cravings are core cravings that you, me, and the rest of the people have. These are the cravings that are responsible for our struggle and suffering if they are not fulfilled. These are the cravings which are responsible for happiness and joyfulness if they are fulfilled. So these are very critical things. If you want to understand life, the phenomena of life, the phenomena of joyfulness, the phenomena of happiness, the phenomena of sadness, you need to focus on these inner cravings. What are these inner cravings? So these are the cravings that we have. One of the cravings is not in the order of priority, but overall you can say that these are the cravings. The craving for survival. You want to survive. As a human being, you have a physical dimension, and physical dimension is represented by the physical body. And we all know that this physical body is a temporary thing. So we know that anytime this physical body can be destroyed, but you have a strong urge to live. If you ask anybody, you want to die, I'll give you 1 crore rupees to your family. Are you ready to die? They'll say, no, not required, unless the person is extremely tilted. We all have a craving for survival. We want to live. We want to continue to exist. We don't want any breakdown of life. We want to continue to the extent possible. Even if you ask a 100-year-old man, okay, come and die now. Even he say, not now, tomorrow. Means we have the we have the tendency to survive to the extent possible. That instinct is what is known as the urge for survival. This urge for survival is giving to a kind of emotion that we all have. That is what? Fear. Fear is an emotion which is linked up for this urge for survival. The urge is the inner urge, the urge of ego to continue to exist is the urge for survival. And to protect this, in order to maintain this, in order to satisfy this urge, there is one emotion which is known as fear, F-E-A-R, fear, that has come into existence. Though fear is a negative emotion, though many people say that fear is a very negative emotion, the positive aspect of fear is it is actually meant for satisfying the inner craving, that is the urge for survival. So you have the urge for survival, you don't have any fear at all. As a grown-up person, you don't have fear anything. You are very much scared of a snake because if you try to play with the snake, it will bite and you will die. So it is linked up with your survival. So you don't dare to play with snake. The moment you see a snake, you run away from it, or if you have to take an action, you will try to kill it. Because the urge for survival is so strong that either you run away from it or you kill it so that it doesn't hurt you. So fear is the mechanism which has come into existence to protect your life. That is the urge for survival. Similarly, you're standing on a hilltop and you don't have fear, you'll jump and you'll die. But when it comes to children, innocent children, they don't know that the snake is dangerous, so they'll try to go play with it and they might get killed. They might jump from the heights and they might get killed. So this is the inner craving which is giving rise to an emotion called, that is what is known as fear. When you're gripped with fear, can you enjoy your life? You're totally frozen with fear. That moment, can you enjoy your life at all? You cannot enjoy your life when you're gripped with fear. You're frozen. Even if somebody breaks a good news, you can't do anything. Similarly, the urge for comfort. As human beings, we're all mentally trained to confine ourselves into a comfort zone. We don't want any kind of discomfort. Comfort, when I say comfort, it is not just the physical comfort, but also the psychological comfort, social comfort. So we want to remain intact because again, this comfort is linked up to the survival. So when there is no comfort, means if the comfort is not there, it means that the survival itself is at stake. There is no comfort. Survival, element of survivability can be at stake. You have to be comfortable. So you try to protect. Why is that you don't want to sleep on roads? Why you want to have the comfort of sleeping inside the bedroom? If you sleep on the road, there is every chances that you might be attacked by wild animals, or you might be attacked by certain things, or you might be subjected to natural forces like rain, everything. You don't want to go into that. You want to retain in a safe and comfortable position. So that is the urge for safety and comfort. And as I told you, the urge for eternity, again, this is nothing but survival. Means you want to exist throughout. You don't want to put an end to your story. You want to exist beyond time and space. That is the urge for eternity. Then you have the urge for expression. Every human being has an inherent urge to express whatever it is. The child, it wants to express. The moment it starts walking, it wants to show to the world, to parents, that it can walk. It wants to express. The moment they learn certain things, they come and they want to express because there is an urge to express. They don't want to confine. They want to open up to the world, say that, yes, I've done it. I'm doing it. And then there is an urge for experience. What are we doing here on earth? We are all trying to experience something or the other. Everything, life starts with experience. Life is nothing but a bundle of experiences. You want to experience everything. Why you want to make more money? Because you want to experience the flight travel. You want to experience life in a big house. You want to experience life with a lot of respect and so much of hangama. You want to experience good food. You want to experience good married life. So experience. The inner urge is experience. You want to experience. So in this process of experiencing, you're getting good experiences. You feel happy and joyful. You feel deprived. You feel denied. You feel disgusted. You feel frustrated. If your experiences are not good experiences, if you're encountering bad experiences, you will only end up in bad experiences. Then there is urge for what? There is urge for recognition. Everybody wants you to recognize, hey, he's so-and-so. He has got this talent. You have that urge. You want to show that you're better than other people. You want to show that you're capable of doing this. See, there is a natural urge in every person to say that I'm different from you. I think differently from you. I'm like that. I have values. I have this thing, this thing. Nobody is an exception. I'm telling you, though you might deny saying that, no, I don't have that thing. If you sit and talk to me for half an hour, I can actually prove that you have this urge. I've met some people, they say, no, I don't have any urge for recognition. But I'm telling you, I can prove it. Every being, without an exception, is having a craving for recognition. Similarly, another urge is the urge to control. We have the urge to control people around us. We have the urge to control the society. We want to control. There is a serious urge. You want everybody to listen to you. You want to give advices to people because you want to control them. We want to control our children. We want to control our parents, dependent parents. We want to control our sibling. We have a strong urge to control others. That's the reason why there is a conflict. Just the way you have the urge to control, the person in the equation also have the urge to control. So with our children, we have the urge to control them because in their interest, we say, in their interest, we want to control. Yes, there is nothing wrong. As long as they are kids, we have to control them because they are so innocent, they don't have any understanding of the world around them. But after they grow to certain age, after they cross their teens and after their 20s, they have their life to experience. You expect them to live the life of your expectation or your experiences, but how can they do that? They come through you, but not for you. You should understand. Your children come through you. There is no doubt about it, but they don't come for you. They have their own life purpose. Just the way you have, even they have their dreams. Just the way you're experiencing the life, even they're experiencing their life. So you can control them till certain age. Beyond them, just liberate them, let them experience. Even if they mistakes, no problem. They will learn from their mistakes, but let them live their life. Give a small piece of advice, but don't persist saying that do this, do this, do this. You can't do that. Give a piece of advice, a piece of wisdom. Tell that, okay, he says that he comes up with a proposal saying that I want to do it. Instead of start quarreling with him, instead of trying to control his behavior, you just express your opinion about it in a very gentle manner. You say, this is what I feel it is right for you, and it's up to you. You can take it or you can throw it back onto me, but no conflict. Let him take a call. Let him start exploring in that direction. And if he sees negativity in it, as you're predicted, as your predictions, he will come back and he will take the course. But if you are trying to sit on his shoulder and say, do this, do this, do this, that is going to bounce back. That is where you're going to have a conflict. Similarly, with your spouse, you're in conflict because most of the time, wife and husbands, if you look at WhatsApp or any other kind of social media, there are so many jokes about wife and husbands. Why? Because there is a power struggle. Wife wants to control husband behavior and husband wants to control the wife. Wife says, why are you going out at 9 o'clock? What work you have got? But husband wants a different kind of life. He wants to, for how long he'll sit at home, he wants to go with his friends, experience some life and come back. But wife said, no, why are you going? What is the reason why I have to go? She wants to control. But husband, he looks at wife and says, why are you talking to your parents on mobile? Every day, all the time, you're talking to your sisters or talking to your father or mother. Why are you doing this? She says, what is your problem? I've made the breakfast and I'm doing, what is your problem? And then fight. So why are these things happening? They're happening because there is an urge to control. Every human being, every human inner being has a strong desire to control others. So that is where the power conflict is coming from. And then we have the urge for superiority. Everybody wants to say that I'm better than you, I'm brighter than you, I'm beautiful than you, I'm bigger than you. So we have a strong urge to be superior to other people. So when we say that, we have urge for creativity, we have urge for control, we have create for this kind of expressions. These things are present in each and every individual, but not in equal proportion. Some people have a strong urge for control, 90%. Some other people might be having at a very low level, 20%. Some other person might be having it 50%. Like that, all these things, all these urges will be present in every being, but in different degrees of proportions. Degrees matter. Not that they're completely absent or they're completely present. It's only the degree of difference that we find. Similarly, we have the urge to serve other people. There are some people who have the strong urge to serve other people. So these urges, they actually give rise to what we call as emotions. So these are the urges which are resulting in these kind of emotions. Your urge to survive, your urge to expand, your urge to experience, your urge to express can actually trigger anxiety. There are certain moments where you start feeling so anxious. There is a lot of anxiety. You are gripped with anxiety because this is associated with some of the inner urges. Urge for survival can lead to anxiety. Urge for comfort can lead to anxiety. Urge for eternity can lead to anxiety. Urge for expression can lead to anxiety. For example, somebody wants to speak in public. They want to express, but they are not experienced in it. They are gripped with anxiety. People who are not used to give public talks, they get so anxious when they see a crowd and talk. So that is urge for expression. Like that, this particular emotion like anxiety can have its roots in any of these things. Similarly, these kind of things, pride, your urge for superiority can give you pride. Your urge for certain things can lead to shame, certain things for envy, certain things for anger, certain things for fear, certain things for disgust, certain things for sadness. When you are undergoing these kind of emotions, your chances of experiencing happiness and joyfulness will not exist, because at a moment we can have only one expression or one emotion. You cannot have multiple emotions in particular moment. If one emotion has to come, the other emotion has to move away. If you're feeling angry, you cannot feel love. When you're feeling angry, you can have other feelings, other negative feelings like anxiety, other things can happen, but positive feelings and negative feelings cannot coexist. So one has to evacuate in order to accommodate other things. Okay, so these are the emotions which are rooted in the inner urges, are responsible for our struggle and suffering, or for deprivation of joyfulness and happiness in our life. So now we have understood the background, like what is actually preventing us from experiencing a joyful and happy life. It is these emotions, and these emotions are originating from different urges, and these urges are actually anchored to money, health, love, belief, and systems. Okay. Yeah. So for today, we'll wind up the session. It's already 1 o'clock. So if you have any questions, you can actually ask me. If you have any feedback to give, you can give it. Okay. So that's all from my side. Anybody to add anything to it? If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Sir. This past life regression, when are you going to teach, sir?
Pardon?
Past life, you are telling past life.
Yeah, that will be on the last day.
Saturday, sir?
Last day of our session.
No, because Sunday I am moving. So
Okay.
it's Saturday, so I don't want to miss it actually. So
Okay.
please help me. Sunday I am moving to Chennai.
Yeah, I will let you know. Don't worry, we'll try to accommodate it. So even I might have to take a break in between, because even I have to travel to Vijayawada.
Okay.
So maybe last one session might be postponed to next week. There is every possibility.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also having some scheduled work. So one good thing I would like to tell is recently I've developed a telemedical software, which I'm going to launch it very soon into the market. And as a first pilot project, I'm going to start a telemedical mobile care unit in my father's birthplace in his village on 6th of September, that is coming Monday. That is for providing free medical services to those villagers using telemedicine, wherein advanced medical care will be provided to them free of cost. So the reason why I have taken up the date of 6th is that happens to be the second anniversary of my father. So in his commemoration, I'm going to do that on 6th of September. So because of that, I have to actually make some arrangements. So maybe I'll take classes till Friday and then I'll postpone the last day to the next week. I think, though I have announced it as a 4-day program, I think it is going to be a 5-day program. So last 2 days will be scheduled after a break. Okay. Yeah. So I think that will work out for you also, even if you're traveling on Sunday, that will work for you, I think.
Thanks, sir. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. So anything else? Anybody wants to add anything? Any questions? Any feedback?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, who is it?
I have
Yeah.
missed the
Yeah, Kiranma, yeah, please.
network issue. Can I join in the evening?
Your voice is not audible. Make it clear.
Sir, is it audible now?
Yeah, yeah.
Today I missed because of network issues, sir. 1 hour. I have joined 1 hour late. Can I
Okay.
join the evening?
We are not having any evening session because we don't have enough participants. So
So-
I'll be sharing the video link. We have recorded the video. You can access the recording. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay, fine. I think you guys have no class. So I'm assuming that the message that I've given you today is loud and clear. So we'll call it a day. Thank you so much for attending. Tomorrow, let's catch up same time. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.